Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Yes, Manchester United are in crisis, and the subplot to that is everybody's got an opinion. And God, have we had some ridiculous opinions this week. I'm telling you now, Simon Jordan going on Gary Neville, why Ruud van Nistelrooy is slated by Martin Keown right next to him. More waffle than bird's eye, that lot. Absolutely incredible. We're going to get into it. Get your comments in below. Also want to ask, if Erik ten Hag does leave Manchester United, where would you go next? Don't need to be a United fan. Get your comments in and tell us why you would do that. I personally don't think anything changes whether you change the manager or not. But what are we talking about here? Well, absolutely incredible. So this clip's sort of gone a bit viral. And I don't really understand why. And it's been sent to me, and a few people have said, oh, you should do a video on That's Football. So here we are. So Simon Jordan is on a radio station on Monday with Martin Keown, Talksport, and they're talking about Man United. And Simon Jordan says, amongst many things, it's absurd how Gary Neville was commentating on the game yesterday. Gary Neville was saying it was a disgusting performance. It wasn't a disgusting performance, it was a poor performance. But the word of disgusting is absurd. And I'm sat there going, hold on a minute, what are you talking about? But then, sat right next to him, Martin Keown says, and I'm looking at Van Nistelrooy. Is he giving everything to this manager? This manager looks very lonely on the sideline. What do you want him to do? Walk over to bloody Ten Hag in the rain and put a blanket over his shoulders and hold a bloody umbrella for him? Incredible. That's absurd. Is Van Nistelrooy waiting to take over? Because it looks as if there's going to be a change taking place. Is everyone doing their job? Is everyone adding to the group? I'm not seeing that from Van Nistelrooy. Ten Hag is sitting there, nothing going on, no conversation. Pep goes back and speaks to the gurus next to him. Oh my God. I mean, look, there is a history between Van Nistelrooy and Martin Keown, and he's obviously a very, very bitter man, Martin Keown. But you've got Simon Jordan having a pop at Gary Neville saying it's absurd for using the word disgusting, which I'll come back to. But right next to him, you've got the definition of absurdity, because you've got Martin Keown and his axe to grind on national radio with Van Nistelrooy saying, is he doing enough? You know, Ten Hag looks a bit lonely. Mate, you're an Arsenal fan. You don't know anything about Man United. There ain't no Man United fan who's sat there going, I agree with Keown. You know, he could be getting him a hot water bottle. He could be giving him a little rub on the head to make him feel better. You know, absolute nonsense. Most training sessions that we see, Van Nistelrooy is involved. Most games, Van Nistelrooy is involved. It's just scapegoating nonsense. It's absolutely absurd to try and say Van Nistelrooy's just sat there doing nothing, watching the mess go in front of him. Absolutely absurd. As for Simon Jordan, he should be calling that out. You know, just that. You know, it's very easy to take a pop at Gary Neville because he won't speak to you during the club, but you've got absurdity sat right next to you, and you're having a go at Gary Neville because he uses the word disgusting instead of poor. And look, I don't think even non-United fans would disagree with Gary Neville that first half was disgusting. I think I used a few other words as well. Oh, you know, Simple Simon wants us to say poor instead of bloody disgusting. I'm sorry. I think that the modern football fan actually enjoys people being a little bit honest in their assessment. And that first 45 minutes from Manchester United, especially the first 20 minutes, was absolutely abhorrent. It was disgusting. It was an absolute disgrace. And not because we haven't seen it before, but because that's Manchester United at Old Trafford in a game they need to win, not turning up in a Man United shirt. And it's absolutely disgusting. And you know, I'm not always Gary Neville's biggest fan, but whether it's Gary Neville, John Terry, Steven Gerrard, the one thing they know about Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, and Tony Adams would know it about Arsenal, is that when you put that shirt on, you are demanded and expected to not do what those Man United players did in the first 20 minutes against Spurs. So if I think it's disgusting as a fan, I'm pretty sure if Gerrard saw a Liverpool player doing it, or John Terry saw a Chelsea player, they'd be disgusted as well. Because there is a level of expectation, but there is also a level of effort that is expected from those players. And it was disgusting, and it must be called out, absolutely, whether he's on Sky Sports punditry or he's doing one of his many podcasts. It's not absurd. I think it's just, you know, they're more than happy to call out Neville, and I'm sure Neville doesn't really give a shit, but actually, we're a fan community, And I got sent this and people were laughing about it in the group. And I was like, oh, sod that. I'm going to bloody do a video on it. It's a joke. You know, you can't have a pop at a commentator for calling a performance out as disgusting when you're sat next to somebody who's trying to use reverse bitterness to say that Van Nistelrooy is trying to get Ten Hag sacked because he won't put a bloody blanket on him. It's madness to me. Absolute madness. And absurdity is the definition of Simon Jordan sat there letting Van Nistelrooy get slated for no reason by Ruud Van Nistelrooy, who's 5 metres away from him, whilst you're sat there slagging off Gary Neville, who isn't even in the bloody studio because he's used the word disgusting instead of poor. It wasn't a poor performance from Manchester United. It was a disgusting. If we ran a poll, was Man United's performance against Spurs poor or disgusting? I think the majority are going to be leaning beyond disgusting, to be honest, and using words that were, like shit, disgraceful. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. I completely agree with that. As for where Man United go from here, look, I've seen a lot of people talking about where Man United go from here, and we've spoken a lot about it on the United Stand. Literally this morning we were talking about it. But I'd be interested to know what you say in the comments. Obviously getting comments on what we just said there. But you know what? I think that it's such a... Man United should be... our walkout song should be Deja Vu by Beyonce. It's just every bloody 3 years. Or it's getting less now. It'll be every 2 and a bit years. The cycle of repetition at Manchester United. And... look, in a way, I admire the positivity of some United fans that they're so focused on sacking this manager that they're excited about the next one coming in. But I think that excitement is waning. I think there are more and more United fans who are just like, oh, God, not again. And I'm certainly on that bandwagon of, look, sack him, keep him. I don't think much changes either way. I actually don't think it matters whether they sack him or they don't. I'm certainly not going keep him, but I'm not going sack him. I know a lot of people go, well, it can't get any worse. People would do a better job. But we're not, with all due respect, we're not Fulham. It's not about a little improvement. We're meant to be up there trying to do what Arsenal have done under Arteta. I don't think Arteta could do at Man United what he's done at Arsenal because he wouldn't be given that. It don't matter if you don't pick Aubameyang. Don't matter if you don't pick Ozil. I know they're on massive wages, but just freeze them out. We'll get rid of them for you. We'll get you that player. We'll get rid of that player. I mean, Arteta's done a fantastic job. Pep's done a fantastic job. Klopp did a fantastic job. But all three of them were given free rein to do what they want. I just remember Mourinho and that interview a few months ago, and he said, I went into Manchester United. Second place is probably one of the best things I've ever achieved in my career. He's won Champions Leagues. And I think what he's saying is because the circumstances I was dealing with, it was virtually impossible to be successful. There are 3 players at that football club that I tried to get rid of when I first went in. And they're still here now, 7, 8 years later. That is why I don't think any Man United manager will succeed, in my opinion. So I don't think it matters, but get your comments in. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. It's Villa against Bayern tonight. We'll be live for that. Take care. I'll speak to you all in a bit.